Christy, we're getting ready to start. Please, everybody who has an in-room device, mute it so we don't get the wow, 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 wow. And good morning. I cannot thank you all enough to be out on a brazen cold morning and on site. We had a little trouble with the heat, so we're awake. Hopefully the weather will not deter from the importance of the meeting, and basically we're gathering today to get the pulse of the business community on multiple levels. Megan, are you in there somewhere? All right, well, we're waiting for people to log on. And we'll give you a few, it's just because of our exciting moments down here. We will, hello, come in, please. While people are logging in, let's go ahead and introduce our guest speakers. Is this?
Yeah, you're on.
Okay, I'm not seeing anything. All right. Lieutenant King, yes. Would you introduce yourself, please, and let's maybe share a camera with the neighbor over there. All right. Well, then come up front. We'll put you on this. Well,
introduce.
Okay, there's Jeff. All right. Yeah.
Just give us 1 second. We're just having a little technical issues.
Code like
Okay. So if you just start talking,
okay.
it should change the video.
Lieutenant King, I'm with the 5th Division. I'm on the Late Watch Commander. Been here since 2019, so I'll be around for questions, I guess, later.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Absolutely. And Michael King.
Morning, everybody. My name is Mike King. I'm the director of Louisville Metro's Office of Advanced Planning and Sustainability. Our office is sort of the long-range planning department for Louisville Metro government.
And Christy.
Hello, everyone. I'm Christy Jarbo. I'm the Senior Economic Development Manager for Small Business under the umbrella of Louisville Forward. We are basically the entry point for anyone that has questions, problems, issues with their business or want to start businesses. So we work with many, many partners that fill the gaps of all the needs for our businesses. So really looking forward to answering any questions or sharing resources with you. Brenda Hyatt is also on our team. She might be online. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right, there. All right, I couldn't tell if I'm in on. All right. While we're waiting for other people, again, we have a pretty online and offline representation. And as we get the details of our electronic challenges resolved, Ms. Burks of Economic Development Manager will move forward. Jermaine, and you believe he's online? Okay, and then yes, Brenda Hyatt, a manager of METCO, Tburkett, operation manager for the ambassador program. Again, pretty extensive, in depth. So what we're hoping for, even though we're being challenged electronically, is to get thoughts and ideas of what is happening with you on the local level with the businesses. Once we can identify those problems, we have the resources to focus on those. Some examples of the, we have, the Highland Commerce Guild has been working with the bars and restaurants, trying to work through what we call the best practices. That became from the meetings we have had trying to address issues up and down Bardstown Road. And we hope today the same thing will occur, that the different things that come up, we'll be able to have contact with the correct person and work forward with that. Let's, if we can, what about introductions? I know this is sort of a difficult challenge, but we have that premise. So let's see. Nancy, if you would introduce yourself.
Good morning, and I'll just say Burr for everybody here. I'm Nancy Stazen. I'm the Executive Director of National Council of Judicial and Louisville section. We own and operate the new stop in the mall. And I'm also a board member of the Highland Commerce Guild.
Good morning, Nick Morris, I'm the Safety Security Store. Also have a board member.
Good morning, I'm Emma Perez with Charter Community Center.
I'm legislative for Councilmember Armstrong. She isn't able to be here. She has a couple of COVID positive kids, so she is safe for your own safety.
Morning, I'm Pat McDonald, Belknap Neighborhood. CEO of Belknap Security Services here in the Highlands.
Brenda with Security.
More like a freelance volunteer person in the city with my position.
Good morning, I'm Carrie G. News. I serve as a digital marketing consultant for national data partner with Google with local representation, and I work with a lot of producers along Bardstown Road. So I have an interest in making sure that everything's good for them. And I brought my husband today, Jeff. He's a retired prosecutor at the Commonwealth Attorney's Office.
Mark Abrams, I'm a board member of the Highland Commerce Guild. I'm tburkett. I oversee the ambassador program.
Do it again.
No, well, you're so well known. All right, we covered Amy.
I'm Amy before and I'm with the Highland Commerce Guild. Help with all the press releases and regulations.
And Aaron Givhan, Mitchell Realtors. Thank you all for trying this challenging time. On we go. Megan, would you like to give some updates with what Cassie's been doing? She's got a very full plate, but some of it's exciting news involving Bardstown Road.
So
Come on up front because we're having at least this camera's working.
So there's a lot of really exciting things that are going to come forward from the redevelopment of Bardstown Road. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet has secured almost $1.5 million to start resurfacing it. And several partners have stepped forward to try to make that even more impactful. Councilmember Armstrong is supplementing that with capital funds from her accounts to increase the number of bump outs that will make Bardstown Road more pedestrian friendly, get more people out walking on the streets. KYTC is also working with Trees Louisville. They're going to cut an additional
250 tree wells that will be planted so that we can get more shade and cover. And Friends of Bardstown Road is working to fundraise some additional funds to provide even more bump outs and greening up the area. So there will be more like landscaping along the corridor, less concrete. And so they're in the middle of that fundraising effort right now. Everything is due to start between March and May. It's when we will start seeing things happening, but it's very exciting. We're just getting the survey results right now about where the best place is to place those pedestrian friendly improvements. In addition, Councilmember Armstrong has been working with the county attorney and with
Is that me or is that them? Freeze. I think it's them.
Them, for sure. Now she's on mute.
Oh.
Apparently the county attorney has muted her.
So the last thing is that we're working on the best practices guide with a number of stakeholders, ABC, LMPD, late night industry folks to look at how we can really make a best practices guide that can be used in the Highlands and around the city. Are there any questions? Like, yeah.
Speaking of the Highlands, though, how can you get some of the business picked back up again? Like it used to be, right? Why can't they make the bar and restaurant happen again?
Well, I think that's what everybody's here to do. I think it's a group effort. We definitely are trying to promote the local businesses and make sure that they have the resources that they need to get going. There's going to be some additional small business funds that hopefully will be available with ARP dollars. Some of that might be restricted to other areas because of census tracts. So we might not get them in the Highlands, but we are looking forward to being able to promote more small businesses in the city as we're trying to revitalize everything. So right now it's approximately from like Baxter and Broadway to just past Eastern Parkway.
Okay.
And hopefully if everything is successful, it will encourage KYTC that we need to move that further down Bardstown Road, towards Taylorsville or even beyond that. But that first chunk will be to, between Broadway and around Eastern Parkway.
Okay, thank you. I didn't understand what pedestrian service you were talking about. I was seeing here. I'm still not Bardstown Road. It's very good.
Yes. So there are a number of different improvements that they can put that are actually when they put the sidewalk out and move the curb closer to traffic so that there's more of a concrete shelter for folks to stand so that the pedestrians will be visible to drivers more instead of standing further back on that sidewalk where there's a parking lane. There'll be a bump out that has concrete where pedestrians will be sheltered so that someone will be able to drive right into them, but they'll be more visible about where they need to cross. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm not an engineer, so that's the best way I can explain it.
I've been in the neighborhood for a long time. And Tom, I used to try to get see if they could do something.
Yes.
For these, and it's a state road.
Yes, it is.
So
Yeah.
we can't really control it.
No.
Are they controlled the lights? How often they change?
So KYTC is involved in all of those decision making, all of that decision making, but they really are trying to work with the work that Councilman Cohen put forward with the Bardstown Baxter safety study that showed what improvements we need to put on there so that people are safer on that area. And of course, if people feel safer, they're going to be there more and walking the corridor, using the businesses, that sort of thing.
Can you all repeat the question for those of us that are online?
Yes, sorry. He was asking to explain what the pedestrian bump outs were, that they're going to engineer with the resurfacing.
Thank you.
All right.
Anybody else?
Any other? All right. Don't go too far.
I'm gonna be right there.
No problem, no problem. All right. Any other, let's pick up on some questions. All right. While we wait for people to come up with some concerns or thoughts or additional information, in going down, there have been some improvements coming along with us. And on that, one thing that was addressed is the ambassador program. That's something new to this area. And tburkett is operation manager for the program. Tim, will you come up and give a little information? A lot of people don't know who you guys are. You're there.
All right. All right, good morning, everybody. My name is tburkett. I oversee the ambassador program. If you're not familiar with the program actually started with Brantley Services years ago. The program actually started here in Louisville, Kentucky. At least the ambassadors, the original ambassadors did. It was with the downtown partnership. Through the years, we've been able to grow that one account to multiples across the country. And now we have about 3,000 employees from coast to coast and one in Hawaii as well. So we had the opportunity to be able to kind of bring that back home a little bit with the ARP money. The city was able to get a grant, and with that, we were able to develop a program that kind of not only helped in various areas across the city, such as East Downtown, a little bit in the West End and the South End. We were also able to put quite a bit of resources here on Bardstown Road to be able to help with some of the security or safety that was occurring later in the evenings, and also would you like general cleanup. So we actually established some boundaries for us to kind of oversee on Bardstown Road, which is from Baxter and Broadway to Bardstown and Eastern Parkway. So on a daily basis, just about you'll see our ambassadors out there with the yellow jackets. They'll be out there cleaning. And then from Thursday, Friday, Saturday evenings up until about 11 p.m., you'll see them out and about doing some patrol for safety concerns. They're there for people to ask questions. If people need to be walked to their car, if they're kind of eyes and ears for people who may be up to activities that someone might need to call the police for. And then we also do the same thing on Sundays from 11 to 7 p.m. So we're out there, we do business checks, we hit some low-hanging fruit of graffiti. If there's something that you see, by all means, feel free to give us a call, let us know how we might be able to help you. Everything that we do kind of has a community feel to it. So like, we don't necessarily go onto somebody's private property a whole lot, but if there's something that has that has a community benefit, by all means, give us a call.
Great.
The best number is, and I just wrote it down here. Hold on just a second. Let me get that to you. Best way overall is to give us a call or send me an email. You can do that at tburkett@blockbyblock.com. That is tburkett, and that's BURKETT at blockbyblock.com.
Question?
Sure, let me give you, if you have like an immediate need, like, hey, you have somebody who needs to be walked to their car or something like that, the phone number that will go straight to their car, our team leads. The phone number there is 502-528-4265. Sure. The email is my email, and it's the letter T, Burkett, BURKETT @blockbyblock.com. And again,
Question?
the phone number is 502-528-4265.
And that's been put on the chat box.
Sure, there's a question online here.
Yeah, a question, is this program, who oversees this program? Is it part of Metro government or independent? And are the ambassadors paid or are they volunteers?
So the ambassadors are paid. The program is through the city of Louisville, which received the grant, the ARP money.
Thank you.
And you all been in operation on Bardstown Road, how long?
Since October 1st.
Okay, and I heard some pretty positive numbers. I think you, in December alone, you were able to straighten up several areas, so.
Yeah, so obviously in December, there was a lot of cleanup for leaves and things like that. Just for the Bardstown Road corridor in the month of December, they did 29 business contacts. They removed 119 items of graffiti. They did 10 special projects, which mainly was leaf abatement, and they collected 167 bags of trash and leaves. Any other questions?
What's the cost?
The cost for the program?
Services, yeah.
Yeah, so the overall, the program for the city is a little over $800,000.
In the Bardstown Road section.
I'd have to get the numbers, but I can get those for you.
How long is your contract running through at this point?
So our contract will run until September, the end of September.
This year.
That's correct.
So if you come across people in distress, do you act as a resource to guide them to the right resources?
Yeah, are you referring to homeless or displaced individuals? Yeah, so we notify police, EMS. We'll stay there with the individual. We will do some any type of contact that somebody needs. Every ambassador has a phone on them that they can contact the emergency services and so forth.
How many neighborhoods throughout Jefferson County do the ambassadors serve?
So we currently serve 4 different areas. 5, if you include, the ARP included us providing 3 ambassadors to downtown, which we already have a program there. So we were able to give 3 ambassadors to them to do some additional services there. And then we have here in Bardstown Road, we have East Downtown, which kind of includes around the I-65 corridor, the underpasses, things like that, and into Nulu. We hit West Louisville on 26th Street and on 30th Street. And then we hit the Beachmont neighborhood on Woodlawn and 3rd Street. And we're in all those areas just about every day, somewhere between 5 and 7 days a week. All right, any other questions?
All right, thank you, Tim. The Guild's very happy. While again, everybody in the area has similar hopes and dreams of having a clean Highlands. We do have a graffiti abatement program, and we are coordinating with the group to where we can maximize our efforts. Tim had mentioned low-hanging fruits, and if you walk the Highlands, there's a lot of that. And again, unbelievable amount was taken in December. Ralph Weevil is also part of the cleanup crew, and he also is taken down hundreds, if not thousands, of graffiti. But I want to stress the thankfulness of working together, because it's the only way we're going to overcome. We've been inundated unbelievably by a group of people with a very destructive behavior. So I cannot thank Ralph for adapting with our craziness, and I cannot thank the Baxter program for extending their hands to work with us. Looking for a few updates, what's coming up, Michael? Come on down.
Good morning, everybody. Again, my name is Mike King. I am now on camera and the director of Louisville Metro's Office of Advanced Planning and Sustainability. Thank you guys for having me out this morning. As I mentioned before, our office is sort of the long-range planning arm of Metro government. And as such, we've done a lot of efforts along Bardstown Road. Our office was the one that actually conducted the Bardstown Road Safety Study, which is going to lead to a lot of what we think are very positive changes along the corridor. We're also currently in the process of doing a sort of dual neighborhood plan at the same time. So it's for the Cherokee Triangle and Bonnycastle neighborhoods. And what that plan is basically going to do is we've worked with the residents and stakeholders in that area to create sort of a vision for what those neighborhoods could become going forward. We're nearing the end of that process, and that'll soon go to hopefully be legislatively adopted by Metro Council. And then that really provides us sort of a blueprint going forward of opportunities for investments in infrastructure, tree plantings, and also land use policy and a lot of other miscellaneous components specific to those neighborhoods, but parts of those neighborhoods are along the Bardstown Road corridor, which obviously impact a lot of folks in this room. One other program that our office runs is the Cyclovia program. So we were thankful that we were able to do Cyclovia again this past fall. Hopefully a lot of you in here were able to come out and enjoy that. It was a great day. I think a lot of people were really excited to get out of their houses, see some folks in a pretty safe environment. Unless something goes awry, we'll plan to do that again this fall. Usually we aim for October. Bardstown Road is the Tom Owen Cyclovia in the Highlands. He was very instrumental in helping us get that program kind of off the ground and running, and to the chagrin of some, but to the applaud of many others, volunteered Bardstown Road to be the sort of pilot for that. So that's our annual event that we do out along the corridor. And then one other thing that I'll just kind of speak very generally about, we're working with the Councilwoman's office right now for sort of a Bardstown Road corridor plan. And we're still figuring out the parameters and the details of what that's going to entail. But ultimately, what we hope to achieve through that is sort of this unified vision for the whole corridor. Because Bardstown Road, there's so many neighborhoods that touch different parts of Bardstown Road. But this plan could be that opportunity to provide sort of this unified vision. We always kind of joke in our office about the turf wars of all the different neighborhoods of the Highlands. Like I'm original Highlands, one Tyler Park, I'm over here. But everybody calls it the Highlands when you ask kind of where you're from. And so the Highlands is sort of this collective, spectacular group of neighborhoods that makes Louisville really authentic. And the unifying factor is Bardstown Road. So we've recognized a lot of the challenges that have come through there with the businesses, but also from the transportation and the safety side. So the hope is maybe with this corridor plan that we can provide sort of a unified vision for what the corridor can be. And Bardstown Road's a different animal to different people in different places. So it'll be a unique opportunity. We don't have a ton of the details on what that's going to entail right now, but I look forward to, as that progresses, working with all of you going forward. You might have any questions or anything for me? Yes, sir.
What's your parameter? What do you call Bardstown Road? Where's the starting spot?
So the talk with this one right now would be probably Taylorsville Road to Broadway. So it would include the outside of the ping pong lights, as we like to call them right now, but those are going away. So, but it would extend a little bit farther out. There's some opportunities along that part of the corridor. that we looked at through the safety study that has some opportunities to make that a little bit more pedestrian friendly, because there's still a lot of pedestrian activity that happens over there. And there's a lot of businesses over there too, some anchor businesses for the Highlands. So that's, as of right now, kind of the general area that we're looking at. Yeah, absolutely.
Can you let us know how to get in touch with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So my email address is Michael, MICHAEL .king, KING, the number 3 at louisvilleky.gov. And make sure to put that 3 on there. I've established a really good relationship with the Michael King that works in the SWAT department over at LMPD over the years. I've been invited to interesting trainings, and he gets some very interesting emails intended for me. So never actually met him, but we've had some good contacts. If you want to call me too, my phone number is 502-574-0032. Anybody else?
Do we have to call you Michael 3?
If you want.
Oh.
I've been called worse. All right. Thank you all.
If you ever get a chance to talk with Mike, it's enjoyable. It's very enjoyable to always communicate with him. And he's a very, very positive soul. And I thank you for being here today. But one thing I do encourage the businesses to focus on during Cycle Via is participation. That goes beyond, oh, I'm open for business. The businesses that put stations, a very small station out front, have had phenomenal success in communicating with the groups of people walking up down Bardstown Road. Even during the colder weather, the Maple Biscuits Company went out of their way to go out to the street level and give away samples of their biscuits. And they were just totally blown away by the number of people that came back to thank them for their generosity. So I cannot encourage the business enough. Participation goes beyond your front door. One other, I'm so glad I see David, you are there, and anybody that's involved in Bardstown Road, if you have not heard of the overlay, the overlay of Bardstown Road, David, please give a little insight to what you're up to.
Sure, and I hope everybody in the room can hear me okay. Again, my name's Dave Marchal. Good. Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks for inviting me this morning. I appreciate being here, Aaron. So please put me on your regular list as you like. I always like to look forward to meeting folks, especially in person here in the coming months. But again, my name is Dave Marchal. I work in the agency of Develop Louisville, part of Louisville Forward. So we work hand in hand with the economic development team, like Christy and Brenda here on the call. Also, I work in the land planning side of things with Mike King. Specifically, you'll probably come across me more often in the Bardstown Road Overlay activities. And so that's a regulatory function. Some of you maybe have heard of it, maybe some of you haven't, but it's a function in Metro government where we review for design. So design changes to buildings, projects, anything along the corridor from Broadway to just past Taylorsville Road, and then extending north and south, basically to the alleys on either side of the corridor, Bardstown and Baxter. And so we also work very closely with the zoning team. So in terms of, I say layers, like a parfait of regulation, we have zoning, and we also work with building permitting. So those types of activities, I'm a good point person for you. You also have in your company, Nick Morris, who's one of our committee members for those projects that require a committee level review. Most of our things require staff level review, signage and smaller changes. But bigger projects go to the committee, and I could be happy to come and talk to you more about that as my, maybe if I do a 101. I did at Councilwoman Armstrong's town hall not too long ago. And I'll end on briefly, one thing we're looking at doing at the behest of Councilmember Armstrong and some neighborhood feedback is updating the Bardstown Road Overlay guidelines. So some tweaks, I don't think it's looking like a big overhaul of things, but it is definitely something that will touch and affect businesses and property owners in the corridor. So we will want to be sure to engage the guild on review of any changes before they go into effect and get your feedback. So I look forward to coming back and talking to you more about that at some point in the future. But again, anything overlay, zoning, permitting, I can be a good contact for you.
David, you had mentioned your area. By any chance, does it extend as far out as like Gardner Lane Shopping Center area, that part of Bardstown Road leading up to the Waterson?
No, the overlay stops basically at the Bambi Bar, just past Taylorville Road. There has been talk over the years of extending that, especially under Councilman Cohn's tenure, of extending that up towards the Gardner Lane Shopping Center. But it didn't get many legs. There was not a lot of interest. There was some interest, but it's established by ordinance, Jack. So it is a public process, and ultimately Metro Council, via your council representative, Cassie Armstrong, is kind of how the process of how that map changes. But currently it stops basically at the Bambi, just past Taylorsville.
What would you say, David, would be the number one oversight that businesses coming to this area do?
Oversight, you mean like an error kind of thing, Aaron?
Yes, sir. Wrong term, I guess, in the sense, yes. I mean, it's like,
Sure.
We talk about the overlay over and over and over again. We try to get the word out. But along Bardstown Road, there's always, it seems like every year someone goes along and they like just go crazy. And then, what do you mean? Well, so I mean, what's the best word of advice you can do? I mean, we've tried our best to get people to understand, start, check in, start from the ground, work, go downtown and meet all the people involved in the process. I didn't know if you had any advice for new businesses coming, because we've been through a rough period, but we have had several new businesses coming to the area.
Good question. And, how do we help people understand the regulations that affect their businesses, especially if they're a small business, they're a new business, there's a million things on their plate. They're trying to get, money flowing, they're trying to get their cash flow going. And I totally understand that.
And we have a money girl on today, excuse me, a professional METCO director. Our director's on today.
Yeah, Brenda, she's there on the call. We work together on a lot of projects. So ideally, if you touch one of us in some transaction, we will help clue you into the rest of us. So I would always encourage people to, because usually it's not just a zoning thing, it's a parking thing, or it's a, we have had smoke shops open up not knowing that there's an ordinance about smoke shops. There's a certain distance you have to be. So there's a ton of things that's, again, the overlay is one part of that, one layer. But I would encourage folks, as loath as they might sometimes be, to just call and ask, because we can offer a lot more help than we can regulation and process. We can connect you to all sorts of folks to help get a business going. That's the main reason the overlay exists, is to support good economic development that is in character visually with the corridor. But we, like I say, I have close relationships with zoning and permitting, and we can help people get through that. But it is a necessary thing. And I would say that this past year, by and large, we've had a few people that struggled or got in and started doing stuff before they got all the approvals. But we always work with folks to try to get to yes, try to figure out the path forward. And it's not a punitive kind of thing. So usually what trips that off too, Aaron, and I'll be I'm a verbose dude. I apologize, but when we see like a new sign permit come in, we know that we've got somebody new. And so we will talk to them and say, hey, kind of tell us more what's going on with you. How can we make sure that you're all square and moving forward? So we understand where people are and try to work with them. So I would just continue to get the word out and in a positive way, and just know that we're here to help.
Well, I cannot thank you. You are, again, our community doesn't realize how easy and accessible all the individuals that are being represented today are, and they do resolve problems. And again, thank you for your endurance of putting up with this treatment. But I'm ready to give you the absolution level. If you need absolution from government, find David. Well, I know now, and again, we'll do some follow-ups as we go along. If people think of other questions, just because we've talked with an individual, we can bring them back. But I guess we're down to show me the money. And Brenda Hyatt is so kind to join us this morning. Brenda, would you please explain what you do? Because when you say METCO, a lot of people don't understand.
That's true. My name is Brenda Hyatt, and I manage the METCO loan program, which METCO stands for the Metropolitan Business Development Corporation. So it is the small business loan program that the city offers, and it's under the arm of economic development under Louisville Forward. So what we do is we have about 10 different loan programs that we offer. And those range anywhere from a small loan of $15,000 all the way up to $200,000 loans. We have a special program that Council Member Cassie Armstrong contributes to, and that's our accessibility program. And that is to make any like buildings more ADA compliant and accessible for our handicapped and individuals. So that can be used for ramps, for rails, to make bathrooms more ADA compliant and accessible. Cassie Armstrong is partnering with us because that's a $15,000 limit on that loan. And if somebody in the Bardstown Road area is interested in that loan, then a business is interested in that loan, then she will match up to $5,000 for businesses in the Bardstown Road area. So that's one thing that's special to your all's district. The other loans, we have facade loans for, improving the exterior of buildings. And we also have loans, for working capital, purchasing equipment, build out, of small businesses when they go into a new location. And, all of those, what I do is I, work with individuals when on the application and gathering all their information, and the loans are approved by our METCO board, which is 6, local business people that sit on the board. And those meetings happen monthly on the 3rd Thursday of each month.
All right. And what's the easiest way for people to find you?
They can go online to our website, louisvilleky.gov. And there, our METCO program is on there, and they can click on there and, put in an inquiry, or they can call me directly. And my number is 574-1521, or they can email me at brenda.hyatt, HYATT, @louisvilleky.gov.
Please do that twice. We're having a little breakup, nothing permanent, but it comes and goes.
Yes, Brenda.Hyatt, it's like the hotel, HYATT, @louisvilleky.gov. And my phone number again is 574-1521.
Well, thank you. Now, one thing, it was oversight on my part. We have several people online, and I'd appreciate if you all would check in. I mean, our guest speakers, some are online as well. But for the individuals that we did not get a chance to acknowledge at the first of the meeting, would you please introduce yourself? I'll let Amy go down the line. She can see more than I can see.
Did Honi introduce herself?
Oh, that's right. Honi, are you in there? Come out, come out. Come on, girl. I want to give special thanks to her if she'll get online. Come on.
I'm here. I'm here. Oh, wait, I haven't had enough coffee. We're only for you all would I get up at this hour.
Well, you have a true honor in my life because everybody knows this woman to get up at this hour. And again, she has a very interesting message today because there is confusion about the political boundaries or the electoral boundaries of different divisions. And she is basically our local resource. So please, Honi, come on down and.
Thank you. Thank you all. And if someone could email me some coffee, I would appreciate it. Basically, if you think that you are in the district that you were in, you're wrong. And I will put
Honi,
in. Yes.
Just slow down a second. It's not you. The building's internet's rebooting on us.
Oh dear. Okay.
So just slow down. I know it's hard.
Okay.
Slow down and let's start again.
I'm here to talk about the redistricting and how it's affecting you all. In fact, all of us. And I have maps and I have links that you all can go to. Also, yesterday was the last day to file for being a candidate. And this is going to be kind of important considering what is going on. And I will have a link on who you can find out on that as well as on registering.
I wanted to run for constable this year.
As for redistricting, everybody in this area is redistricted out, for the lack of a better word. The boundary now is Bardstown Road. So if you are on one side of Bardstown Road, if your business is on one side of Bardstown Road versus the other side, you are now in two different districts.
Wow.
And Amy, can you pull up the map?
She's going for it.
Oh, okay. I will tell you that there are lawsuits that have been filed, and I believe more that are pending to slow down the process and to get some semblance of this. This is House Bill 314. This has not been passed. It's just in committee. You all may want to look at this. You can go to the LRC website. This basically changes how METCO government works, and whether or not you like it or not, this will affect you, and how you deal with your elected officials. Amy, can we go to the district map? This. I want to say that this map is, if we can pull out a bit, this map is the current house map. Amy, can we scroll down a bit?
It's a little bit big.
That's better. We can all like turn our heads. This is your current, or this was the current map. And you could see how District 34 is where it was. Now let's see what the new one looks like, Amy, if you can.
All I can tell you is you're better, never made it this far.
Pardon?
I just said you're better off with Amy. If I was trying to do this, you'd never see it.
Oh, well, that's the reason why I sent it over to Amy.
You're a wise woman.
I listen, I knew not even being awake that I would not be able to do this.
All right. It's come screen sharing. There it is.
Okay, this is your new map. As you can see, the ones, the what is outlined in yellow is the new 41. And it goes all the way up from Clifton, all the way over to Stony Brook. The new 34 is outlined in green. So that where the two lines meet, that's basically Bardstown Road. So if you were in Highland Douglas, if you were in Seneca Gardens, if you live at the Willow, you are now in the new 34. The one in yellow, that's the new 41. Any questions so far? I'm going to put in the chat some information, especially about voting. Please share it to whomever you want. Oh, one other thing.
Well, cannot thank you.
Wait a minute, one more thing. Amy, do you have that Metro map? This new district does not correspond with Metro 8.
That's it, right?
I believe that's it. No, that may not be it. No. No, that's the old one. But if you look at Metro, if you and I'll put the links in there. If you look at the Metro map, Metro 8 does not correspond with the new districts 34 and 41. So have fun, get everybody to vote and look at the maps and see where your new district is. And thank you all. And I'll put my email in the chat too, if you have any questions.
You're being added into the chat area. Cannot thank you enough for making us aware.
You're welcome.
A lot of people asked discussion. They knew there was a discussion, but they did not know it had already been put in place. So thank you for your effort. To get the word out. Acknowledging our dear souls online. Are there are a few people who didn't introduce? Okay. No, I know it's not. All right. All right. Ray, I see you. Why don't you say hi to everybody?
Hello, I'm Ray Brenda. I'm from the Tyler Park Neighborhood Association. I have a screen that shows things better over to my right, so usually you get profile for me.
And I have a question for Honi. Who represents us? If I have been in Mary Lou Marzian's district, and now I am in the new redistricting, I am now at Lisa Wilner's district.
You're in the new 34.
Well, the new 41, I think.
If you're in the new 41, there will be a primary right now between Mary Lou and Josie Raymond. If you're in the new 34, you've got 2 new candidates.
Okay.
And in my link that I put in chat, you can see who those people are. You can also see basically everybody who's running, both in Jefferson County and well as in the state.
Well, so until the generals happen, the winners are announced for the generals, I'm represented by the old district arrangement.
I'm sorry, Bill is shaking his head yes. Say this again.
Until the general elections and the swearing in for the winners, I'm represented, in my case, right now, I'm represented by Mary Lou Marzi. But I'll be in Lisa Wilner's, well, I'll be in 41, I think. Going forward.
It depends on whether or not she wins her primary and whether or not she wins the general election. Basically, every candidate is up for grabs.
Yeah, but between now and then.
Oh, you mean, but yes.
Stay, Ray, you stay exactly where you are until January 1. It doesn't change. The new representatives will be the new representatives.
Yes.
That's what I presume. But there you go. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
All right. Going down the line, Bill, please introduce yourself and say hello.
I'm Bill Dariff, the mayor of the city of Jefferson for the last 11 years, and I'm running for mayor of Louisville to represent you. Those boundaries haven't changed. Metro Louisville is Jefferson County, and I hope to represent you all the way around. My family grew up on Strathmore, which is close to what you all were talking about. And we also are ones that have owned a small business hardware store in J-Town. So the Bardstown Road corridor is made up of small businesses, and I totally understand what it takes when you have a checkbook in your lap and what it means to have a neighborhood that is like this. So Bardstown Road is similar to J-Town. It's all about family and everybody working together for the betterment of the community. So I hope to be the one representing you January 1, 2023. And Ray, that district won't change. Just to let you know. Good seeing you, buddy.
Thank you for checking in. John, I think you're next in line.
Hello, everyone. My name is John Straub, and I represent the Better Business Bureau. We cover 44 counties from southern Indiana all the way down to Bowling Green and all the way over to western Kentucky, and look forward to being with you here today.
Thank you very much. All right. Are there, after sitting back, are there any questions for any of the panelists or concerns to bring up? Because if not, we're headed towards the excitement of a gift card drawing. So
Aaron, before you pull my name out for the gift card drawing, I do have a question for, is Lieutenant Rob King still on?
Yes. Jack, would you introduce yourself? I didn't see you on my screen, and I apologize.
I'm up in the top corner. I'm Jack Will. I live in the Belknap neighborhood. I'm a past president of the Belknap Neighborhood Association. And I also do government relations for the Jefferson County League of Cities. And there are 4 home rule cities in that corridor across from Gardner Lane, moving out to West Buchel. So that's, and I've had extensive work in different areas of urban development. My question to Lieutenant King, if he's got a few minutes, is the safety issue up and down Bardstown Road, and particularly over in the Atherton High School neighborhood. We seem to have had a rash of car hijacking or car break-ins. And I think they just caught a group of them that had stolen a car and were responsible. But I'm just curious the status of the the crime situation up and down Bardstown Road, but particularly in the Atherton High School neighborhood?
Yes. Like a mugshot.
Yeah, good morning. Well, I mean, the carjackings throughout the city have increased. Just since January 1st, there's been several in the Highlands. We've had you talking about the one on Lowell?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, those suspects were caught after a pursuit over in the 4th Division. There's a bunch of evidence in the car. The detectives are working that case. You know, it's almost to the point now where these kids I say kids, they're just out looking, it's like a game. They're just finding easy targets and they're doing street robberies or they're doing, you know, stealing cars to go do other crimes. We've had like 7 or 8 street robberies / carjackings since January 1st in the Highlands. There's a guy got his car stolen at Speedway the other day. They're all juveniles. It's frustrating for law enforcement because the kids get caught and they get released to mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, and they're right back on the streets. So some of these kids are repeat offenders. And that's something that the judicial system has to handle. We have officers that ride those areas, especially when there's something like that happens. We make an emphasis on that area, but we're so shorthanded in the 5th Division. We're the lowest amount of officers in the whole city. We only have 39 officers on the streets.
Thank you. And if you can put your contact information on the chat or give it to, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Nick, you're the man of the moment.
Well, just, I guess for the famous drawing of the gift card and
Come on up.
just, but it is for High Wire Brewing, which is in the Baxter complex there at the corner of Broadway and Barrett.
You must be over 21 to participate.
And High Wire has been so generous to donate a $25 gift card. And I have listed everyone that is in attendance today and find a number next to it. So Aaron will draw a number.
Oh my gosh, you're making it my fault.
And whomever number that is associated with the name. Number 5 is the security services.
All right.
So,
All right. Well, not to be anticlimactic, the excitement just went over my body. But I cannot, the room is very cool today. The heating system is being repaired. It's everybody's welcome to 2022, no matter what. But we cannot thank you all enough for joining us, and please get some Casito products and enjoy. Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Seriously.